KRD Country TV.
New South Wales West, 1988.
This selection of photographs was taken on the New South Wales Main Western Line and the branch line to the collieries at Charbon and Balbone in 1988. They illustrate a cross-section of what was then regular working. Today, many of the locomotives seen in these photos are either no longer in service or have been relegated to lower-ranked duties. Some of the rolling stock has also been retired while, at the time of production, the Indian Pacific is out of service due to ongoing border restrictions brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's begin our tour of the West with some coal trains. Our first train is RC73, hauled by 8115, 53 and 58 near Cullen Bullen and then arriving at Ben Bullen Station. This scene depicts an all-ALCO lineup of 8034, 4502, 44208 and 8047 approaching Portland. Note the disused signal post. The crossing loop at Portland had been recently decommissioned at this time. Triple 81 class units 51, 44 and 49 lead 7K18 loaded coal train through Marangaroo. In 1988, wool was still carried by rail and dedicated trains sometimes conveyed this valuable commodity. One such service was number 8340, seen here descending the hill towards Gresham behind 8048 and 8003, and then in the distance passing the former Gresham signal box. The Indian Pacific is one of Australia's best-known trains. It runs between Sydney, on the east coast, and Perth, on the west coast. In 1988, this train ran during daylight hours between Parkes and Sydney. In this scene, 44208 and 8004 lead the IP, as it is often referred to, downhill from Wambool. At this time, 80 class units were the most commonly rostered locos on the IP and the use of a jumbo was somewhat unusual. Triple 80 class units, 13, 16 and 22, lead the Indian Pacific through the curve at Sodwalls. The dual track at this location has since been reduced to a single track. In November 1988, the local passenger services between Orange and Lithgow made their last journeys. A timetable change saw these trains replaced by buses. W78, the up service, is seen here at Gresham on its last journey, about to leave the short double-line section from Newbridge and continue on the single line to Georges Plains and Bathurst. The signal box was demolished after its closure, but the railway houses remain on site, today in private ownership. The last Lithgow to Orange local service was worked by 48152 and 4916 and they are seen here crossing the Farmers Creek Viaduct, at Bowen Fells, just west of Lithgow with their train, W83. Train number 8284 was an interstate service that ran between Adelaide and Sydney, passing through the scenic parts of the main Western Line during the late afternoon. Here, 80s 39 and 01 lead 8284 at Morobo. Thank you for watching this presentation. KRD Country TV will produce more of these films in the future.
KRD Country TV.